Every hour on the hour, when we listen and gain our knowledge and power, we turn to the no bullshit hour.
They killed America's Councilman Eric Mays in Flint. They arrested our guest. He's in solitary right now in Flint. That's what democracy looks like in Genesee County. It is nasty. We will bring you that. But first, the news. Today is Real ID Day. You know what that means, don't you?
Yes.
If you don't have it, you can't get on an airplane.
But can't you use your passport to get on the airplane?
You can use your passport to get on an airplane.
So if you don't have it and you have a passport, and you know,
your license isn't good now. You can't get into many federal buildings, military installations, and you can't fly domestic. Most people don't have a passport, by the way. So, you know, if you want to carry that around,
no.
Good luck. So it's supposed to be a star on your driver's license, and you're supposed to go in and prove your citizenship, your residency, and your social security number. Is that right?
Yep.
That's right, isn't it?
That's what's on the website.
All right. Well, our favorite, well, why don't we just play this?
Don't even think about it because we'll get you.
Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, our favorite limousine liberal, has a proclivity for thumbing her nostrils at the law. We told you how Rolls-Royce Joyce won't take dead people off the voting rolls or do anything to stop foreign nationals from voting or even to check signatures. But the latest is a real doozy that has endangered all us common folk who fly cargo. May 7th is the deadline to get a real ID. You must show proof of citizenship or legal residence and a real social security number, or you won't be able to get on a plane or go into federal buildings. That's designed to stop terrorism and could even help stop illegals from voting.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
Federal law requires the Secretary of State to scan and keep those documents of proof for 7 years. Rolls-Royce Joyce told the Fed she did do that, but it turns out she doesn't.
We will come for you.
Well, Rolls-Royce Joyce just flunked a state audit, and now the Transportation Security Administration is threatening a federal audit of their own. And that means we might all have to go back down to the DMV and stand in line all over again.
Live from downtown Detroit, it's the No Bullshit News Hour with my main man, Charlie LeDuff and Karen Dumas.
This just it, breaking news. No more bullshit. No more bullshit.
So how fucked is that? And they told she, you know, the Secretary of State has a checklist of compliance with the TSA.
Okay.
Right? And did you keep the documentation? Did you keep social security numbers and passport? Yes. They lied.
I don't. So I saw a picture of two. One has the state of Michigan with a star, and one is just a star. Are they the same thing? Are they two different things? I mean,
yes, they're the same thing. There's real ID, and then there's enhanced ID. And what's enhanced?
I'm confused.
Is an enhanced ID a real ID?
That's what I thought.
No,
it was.
like one's got some. It's got your like biometric numbers on the back. Like mine just has the star, like I am who I am. And
So wait a minute. What is it supposed to be?
you know, you're supposed to prepare for the show.
I did, Charlie, but I'm like, now that
You can't come on here with questions. What am I?
Well, yeah, because I mean,
Let me see.
I'm sure some other people are thinking.
Look it fucking up.
So,
Get your social security card
So
and
it
your
just-
birth certificate. Because dummy Ken over here, how old are you, man? 45. He's 45. He doesn't have a. He goes. He doesn't have his birth certificate. His passport's expired, and he goes. We're sitting in the car because we got a real scandal brewing. We're filming in the rain, and Ken goes, I got my social security card, and he's digging through this shit, and he's like, oh look, there's my high school ID, and he hadn't been through his wallet in so long, and at the bottom of it, like like when you leave paper in your pocket and wash it. He goes, "This is my Social Security card," and it looked like he chewed it, and I'm like, "Dude, there's one number left."
So, do you exist, Ken, if you don't have all this stuff anymore?
Not to the TSA. He doesn't know.
So wait a minute. I just have a star. It's not in the state of Michigan.
Yeah, let me.
No, because you'll be
let me
reading
see
up.
the back of it. I'll just tell you if it's enhanced. The enhanced ID, it's a passport basically, and it allows you to fly into Mexico and Canada and the Bahamas or drive in. Like you don't have to show a passport. So it's basically a passport card. But see on the back,
cruise ship. Yeah.
On the back it doesn't have like like
okay,
your
so
passport.
that's not. What is
this is
is
that you can get on a plane with that.
I have a passport.
I know, but like if you're flying to Canada or if you're flying to like Houston, why would you carry your passport, right?
So this isn't an enhanced ID. This isn't a real.
It's a real ID.
It? All right.
Come back next week. Study up on it and come back next week.
Should I bring my passport?
What am I, the Secretary of fucking State?
You should be, Charlie.
I mean, I would have scanned it, but let's really think that through for a minute because, as the piece said, that can also be used. The keeping the information proves you're a citizen. Remember what the Secretary of State also does. You're in charge of the voting rolls,
right?
And I don't see any mass conspiracy. I work the election polls and stuff. But if 40% of Americans don't have faith in the election system, when the Secretary of State proves she has no idea how many non-citizens are voting, it went from 1 to 15 to 16. We really don't have the computer power to match up, if you register to vote without an ID and if you actually, she can do it, but she tells us she can. With this, 80% of 8 people 18 years and older have a real ID or an enhanced ID. They've already got the stuff.
Right.
So why aren't you keeping it, Jocelyn? You're breaking federal law, and what this could mean if the feds are pissed. They're fucking pissed. You can read it in that audit. They might come in here and audit her, and if fully 50% of the people with enhanced or real IDs, their information hasn't been preserved, they got to come back to the DMV
and stand in line all day. So maybe they're coming for her.
This is just ridiculous.
I know. I mean, it would be different if things were more efficient and just maybe there was an oversight. But this is just, and that's an insane waste of time.
What a dope.
I mean, it is. Even if you have an appointment to go to the Secretary of State, you still sit there for.
Okay, well that's exclusive, and if you want to see it, you want to see Ken's work here. He puts. What do you make of the video?
Oh, it's great. He does good editing. Yeah,
it's freaking hilarious.
I'm that kind of nerd that likes good editing.
I love good editing, and I called Ken up yesterday. I go, how's the video going? He said, because we don't,
it's on brand.
Because we want to use some of the old editing Ken did because it's really funny, and we want to do new. He's like, and I'm like, if you need any inspiration, just call him. Roy. I get it. And I'm like, oh, this is gonna be real shit. It's gonna be real shit. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to. Oh, Ken, back to the drawing board. And he sent it. I watched it. It was great. And I call him. He goes, yeah. I go, it's great. He goes, oh, wow. He was very happy about it, So if you want to see it, you can go to X, just Charlie LeDuff. You can go to Facebook, Charlie LeDuff. You can go to YouTube, which is No BS Newshour.
Yes.
Okay, and you can go to our website, nobsnewshour.com.
Yeah,
there you go. You got it. Or you can go to Michigan Enjoyer,
of
which Ken's employed and I'm employed, right? And you can read the column, and that's that. Okay.
Beautiful.
See, I worked all that shit.
So we're marking
and
out
smash that like button, just subscribe, ding, 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 and smash, and leave your stuff in the comments. Did I do it right?
Close
Did it
enough.
very well.
And you can get us on iTunes. Go in there and just do No BS Newshour. Hit subscribe and give us a 5-star.
And Spotify.
Spotify, how do you do that one? You just
Go
go
to Spotify.
and
And
No
you can
BS Newshour.
And there's video there too.
There's
so,
video there
yeah.
too. Oh, they changed it. Okay, and then you smash the
smash it hard.
subscribe
Yeah.
and give me 5 stars, baby. High five. All right, now what's else in the news before we get to Jedidiah and solitary? Shri Thanedar, did Detroit. No, he's not just Detroit. He's also Grosse Pointe and Taylor. It's the weirdest congressional district
That's
ever.
very mixed.
Right? That's 13th congressional district here in Michigan. And he's made himself some news here. Do we have a little clip of Shri? Okay, let's do that.
This is Congressman Shri Thanedar. Donald Trump has already done real damage to our democracy, but defying a unanimous 9-0 Supreme Court ruling, that has to be the final straw. It's time we impeach Donald J. Trump. The court said the wrongfully deported Kilmer Garcia must be allowed to return and receive due process. Trump ignored it. He ignored the Constitution.
I'm not going to say it.
Okay, let me start.
It's real.
I know, but I'm not going to say it.
Let me start here. All you due process people. I believe Garcia should be Obrega Garcia, Mr. Congressman, by the way. Hyphenate, that's his full last name. The process is he's been ordered deported twice. That's the process. So the dude is getting fucking deported. Now, at the tail end of it, which was he was not to be deported back to El Salvador, he was. Supreme Court said you got to try to get him. You don't got to try hard, okay? Because you broke that piece of the process. However, when Trump decrees that MS-13, which the courts found Obrega Garcia to be part of, you're part of a international terrorist organization. Mm-hmm. So process doesn't apply to you anymore. That's the process, right? If you're a terrorist, bam, there's no process. Now, nobody's adjudicated if that's the process. Like, the withholding order doesn't apply. It will be found to be that way, right? Or it won't. So he's going to be deported anywhere else but El Salvador. I'm hearing Libya now. New York Times, they're like, Libya. How would you like to be in prison in Libya? Fuck, leave me in El Salvador, bro. Woo, shit. Okay, so that's the process. Immigrants do have constitutional rights. They absolutely do. First Amendment applies to them. Mm-hmm. You can stand where you want, pray how you want, protest how you want. However, it's limited. You don't have the full constitutional right. You can't express support for a terrorist organization. You can't. You deported, bang. Second Amendment, you can't have a gun. Mm-hmm. Eighth Amendment, there's a process above it, which is the Immigration and Nationality Act. That applies to you. So if you're arrested by ICE, you don't get bail. You see what I'm saying here? So if you claimed asylum, put that away for a minute. If you didn't claim asylum, you're here illegally. You gone by expedited removal. Mm-hmm. If you did claim asylum and you didn't show up to asylum court, or you committed a crime, you're out of here. Right? Okay. That's the process. I don't understand anything else, Shri. I don't know. You voted twice to impeach the guy. I don't know. But here's what I do know. When you went bankrupt and you had to give your pharmaceutical testing lab to the bank, you forgot to let Snoopy out of the cage. There was 110 beagles starving to death. Roll it.
We believe that they have never been outside ever.
I don't think that they've actually had their paws on the grass. When I walked in here, it looked like they were walking on eggshells. They were kind of afraid to walk on the grass.
It's okay.
These are animals that don't understand.
Puppy killer!
A dog really is.
Wag that tail.
All right. Oh, everybody. Oh, there you go. Right there. That's going to be the cover art. The little puppy nose. How can you do it, Shri? How can you do it? Okay. Now, Shri Thanedar, obviously, not from around here. It's really weird that Detroit has no black representation in Congress. It's beyond me because I think they violated the Civil Rights the Voting Rights Act.
Voting Rights Act.
Yeah, they redistrict it. You can't do it anyway. So how does Shri self-funds himself? Okay, he does. He's like $5 million to you can outspend everybody that way. But here's the deal with Shri. If you look at his campaign filings, he owes about the campaign is about $800,000 in debt. Okay. And Shri made a loan to his campaign. So Shri must be repaid. You got to you can't do it, or he can pay it off. You're allowed to without limit contribute to yourself, right?
Okay.
So Shri doesn't want to eat to 800. Why is there a negative balance? So if you decide you're going to prance around and we're going to have to impeach Trump, you're going to get donations. Because the only person that donates to Shri is like Shri. A couple of other guys, right? You know, from the old days. A couple of guys, but it's Shri. And he didn't make that much money. If it costs him $5 million out of his own pocket every 2 years to keep this fucking seat, you can see the game.
And it's a paid for seat. I mean, it is a paid for seat.
And he's got election. I mean, he's got some competition this time around.
Right, he does. Adam Ollier and Donovan McKinney, state rep from the 11th district. So they're running, and people are expecting that to pull away from Shri. So I would expect something like this announcement to impeach Trump to, try to establish some relevancy and some attention to him and his campaign. I mean, he's taking advantage of the seat that he currently holds to try to leverage that to re-election.
But at what cost? Because he came across as a total joke doing this, and everyone's laughing at him. And he has no power in Congress, and I don't think his constituents like him.
But is this any worse than him dancing in front of the Spirit of Detroit, which is what he did, which I thought was equally ridiculous?
In a way, it is worse because it mucks everything up. And even if you don't like Trump, like he says, violating the Supreme Court 9-0 decision, you're going to impeach him now, right now? Like, you're starting this now? I mean, it seems more logical that he's trying to raise money off of it.
Yeah, but people don't think at that level, though, Mark. All they see is the attention, and they hear Trump. So people that are anti-Trump just buy into it.
It's all bullshit. The media's in on it, too, because, look, I mean...
Well, he makes good copy.
He does. He's filling our air, you know what I mean? But that dude, when he was living on the west side... We had to move, he's asking me to take him around and show him where all the poison pits are in the demolition shit. And I did. And he never did anything about it.
Wow.
He never did anything about it. He never said anything about it. All the politicians do that. And while the Democrats are walking around screaming about environmental racism, they were committing it. They were absolutely committing it. And I don't know how many thousands of holes got shit in them, but we're going to have more on that in a couple of weeks. Shri Thanedar, you represent the points, and you represent 48205, 48209, east side of Detroit, one of the poorest districts, zip codes in the United States. One of the most violent zip codes in the United States. No one sees you around there. Nothing's changing over there. Why don't you get off the fucking internet and help the people you represent? Because
What did you say, Charlie, on break when you were talking about what you learned in your political class? What you said your teaching assistant told you that still holds true today about the goal of a politician?
Poli-Sci 101, the American system. Yep, the teaching assistant said the number one issue, the number one job, the number one goal of a politician is to get reelected.
And that's it. At any cost, at any expense.
But that's fine. But stop bullshitting.
No, it's not fine, Charlie, when it's at the expense of the people who elected you.
That's what I mean. That's fine.
That's what I mean. Okay.
But you earn it.
Yeah, but they don't have to. Their accountability isn't there.
And does this work? Look, the media's running around. Free Press does a poll, right? Okay, Trump's approval rating. When he took office, his approval was 46 in Michigan, and his disapproval was 49. Now, with all the up and down and the impeachment stuff, it went from 46 to 43, his approval rating. And his disapproval rating went from 49 to 50. So nothing moved, right? Nothing. That's actually higher than I thought it was going to be.
Well, but polls, Charlie, so that's another thing.
I know the media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know the media. Like, have prices gone up yet? No. So why is everybody tripping on tariffs? Has gas gone down? Has eggs gone down?
Yeah.
The Dow Jones is about where it was at inauguration day. So all that rise up was the Trump effect, and the rise down is the Trump effect. I'm not defending Trump. You know what I mean? I'm not. I can see it with a clear eye. But we're not being given an honest portrait of what's going on in the world. Process. Media doesn't understand process. Tariffs, they can't even spell them. It's amazing to me. And then they're ramping up deportation. You can see it. They're talking about Libya. There's articles that open in old prisons up north, right? It's all over the country. Alcatraz.
Wow.
But, let me tell you about Selfridge. Now, if you're an illegal immigrant being detained by American authorities, then Selfridge Air National Guard Base might be a wonderful place to say goodbye. As Trump plans to unleash America's law enforcement to pursue criminals, the question becomes obvious. Where will we put hundreds of thousands of detainees while they await their due process? In Michigan, one facility under consideration is Selfridge, and that's straight from Washington. Curious, I took a recent tour of the 3,600-acre base located in northern Macomb County. My findings? I couldn't think of a grander place to await a deportation hearing. First of all, it has convenient one-stop shopping for a guy accused of belonging to an international crime syndicate. Selfridge is home not only to the 5 branches of the military, but also to ICE, Border Patrol, and the FBI, which can help with translation services. The complex has sprawling green vistas, fresh lake breezes, a waterfront view, and get this, an 18-hole golf course. Oh, nice. There are many day laboring opportunities as well. Acres upon acres of lawn to mow, an administration building in need of a fresh coat of paint, a shoe shine box in the lobby of the officers club, or a guy could chase geese off the mile-long runway, or maybe even carry the golf bag for one of the base's big hitters. Word is, the general's a fabulous tipper. Housing possibilities include the gorgeous but abandoned officers' quarters. The streets are lined with oak and sycamore. The homes are of the Georgian and Greek revival styles with columned porticos and brick fireplaces where a man far from home might warm himself on some hoary afternoon. Either that or a massive tent city could be erected to house migrants like they did at Brooklyn's decommissioned Floyd Bennett Field. The climate-controlled tents could be pitched on any number of the green glades bordering Lake St. Clair, which also includes an inspiring view of Canada. Recreational opportunities might include frisbee golf and beach casting. Hey, the walleye are running. There's a quaint little museum on the airbase where one can learn all about the Tuskegee Airmen and admire all the mothballed war machines that drop bombs on many of the countries the deportees would be returning to. Hungry? No problem. With the pocket money earned polishing the general's cleats, a peckish man might order himself some culturally appropriate food from one of the copious restaurants just outside the base gates, including Chipotle, Panda Express, and the world-renowned Bob Evans. Craving a late night nibble? There's a gas station and a liquor store on the base stocked with snack cakes, soda pop, and jerky sticks. And best of all, once his legal papers are in order, a C-37 will be idling outside the deportee's front door, waiting to take him home. And if the thought of a long flight makes him queasy, perhaps arrangements can be made with the newly elected Minister of Canada. It's just a short ferry ride away. Karen, before we get to Flint, right after this message, I failed to ask you, that ID of yours, the enhanced ID?
Right.
Did you ever present documents?
No. I had the opportunity to renew my license by mail, I guess it was a year or two ago. And, it's just, has anything changed? No. You send it back in the mail. And it came, at the time, there was not conversation around this. I didn't know what it was, but I didn't pay any attention to it. I just stuck it in my wallet and kept going. So no, I haven't.
You've never shown your passport to them?
No.
You never showed your social security card to them?
Birth certificate, none of that.
Maybe back when you were 18 or 16.
I guess. I don't even know. Was it required then? That was a long time ago.
That's the whole point here.
Yeah.
And they went and sent you an enhanced ID, but you didn't go through the federally mandated, that means the law, the process to get it.
No.
You see the problem? Yeah.
When I turned 18, they sent me the new one with the star on it.
Uh-huh.
I never.
You never took your driver or your birth certificate down there? You had a passport. You didn't take that.
No.
You never showed a social security card.
No, this is just the automatic one that they sent me.
Oh, what a fucking scam.
Does that make us...
No.
Are we criminals?
No.
I know.
This is criminal behavior, though. Maybe it's misdemeanor criminal behavior, but the Secretary of State's not following the law, which is designed to protect us. And I lived through 9/11. It's not a hard thing, right? Are you who you say you are? That's all this is about. And then once again, now we can see if you can legally vote. That's just a thought.
And consistency. I mean, if in fact there's a process that should be followed, it should be followed throughout for everybody, not just haphazard. So
what a freaking scam. And I wrote about this in the Enjoyer this week, right? Nobody paid attention to the audit. I pay attention to the audit ever since the nursing home audit. And I'm like, there's always gems in there. And it took the Republican strike squad, each party's got a strike squad. They had to put it out for the media even to read what the auditor's doing. And the media, I read them all, they don't understand what's in there. They just did the list. This is pretty bad. And I think we're going to have to redo it, especially after you two just dropped another little acorn on there. They're just handing them out.
And maybe they like us.
Not only do you go there and you present your stuff and they don't scan it, they don't even give a fuck.
No, they don't.
And they don't give a fuck about Flint. So we're going to find out all about what's going on there and why my guest is not here. Right after this.
I'm Grace Karros, and I'm third generation of American Coney Island. People say Detroit's a comeback city. I say, where you been? We've been here for over 100 years. My family's been here on the same corner, serving our famous proprietary American Coney Island hot dog. So like always, we're keeping things fresh, updated, and new. We'd love to have you come downtown and visit us, but if you can't, you can always go to AmericanConeyIsland.com, order a Coney kit, get it delivered fresh right to your door.
Your teeth can't heal, but the stock market can. That's just a fact. If the market roller coaster is making you grind your teeth, call or text my friend Luke Nowacki at 248-663-4748. We're all hanging on to this ride like Gayle King and Katy Perry. Just hang on to your flower. Some people are saying that the earth will be better when this is all over. Luke Nowacki, Pinnacle Wealth Strategies. Are you an aging senior wondering where you'll end up? Are you a son or a daughter wishing your mom or dad lived closer to home? Are you a caregiver with good heart, good character, but you feel stuck in a dead-end job? Are you a social entrepreneur looking for a safe real estate investment within a fast-growing market? Well, consider contacting Archangel Senior Management. Archangel offers a solution and a vision to compete with big corporate senior living communities. Call Archangel at 989-614-0316. Well, when it rains, the power goes out. And when the power goes out, the internet goes out. When the internet goes out, I call my friend Matt and Bernie at XG Service Group. Look at Bernie here on his hands and knees, giving it everything he's got. Look at that man crack. So busy, he forgot to wear a belt. There's Matt right there getting the board together. That's 734-245-4100 if you need Matt and Bernie to come take care of your voice over internet, your security cameras, off-campus access control, Wi-Fi, and cameras for homes and business. They'll design it for you. You got restaurants, they do drive-through systems, railroad cameras for public safety, total wireless camera systems for your home and business. Yeah, that's right. Call XG Services at 734-245-4100. So there's our guest, Karen, Jedidiah Brown. It's not really him. He's not really sitting there. The guy is in solitary confinement at the Genesee County Jail.
For what?
Well, I believe he was disturbing the peace. Like he was in front of the mayor's house with a bullhorn 2 days ago, and then the mayor put the secret police on him and found him last night and arrested him and towed the car for disturbing the peace
2 days earlier.
Which is a misdemeanor, and I don't know why they didn't arrest him at the mayor's house disturbing the peace. But that's Jedidiah. He is he's got an organization. It's really big on it. Basically, it's YouTube. It's called Investigate and Advocate. So he's sort of like this national rabble rouser. You got a problem in your city, you call him, and he comes. Usually, he's a rugged well thought out black man, and he goes to mostly African American places because nobody will help. Right?
It's true.
That's why there's a lot of money in poverty.
Right.
And
It is.
So he points it out. So I met him 10 years ago when I was doing when there was gangland slings in Southside Chicago, and I want to know why we're killing ourselves, And so this is a little clip from my days at Fox. It's when I first met him.
This is a whole different generation. So you want to say gang life. No, this is reality. I could go on the internet and I'm finding people who look like me across the country. We have no hope. The police are whooping our butts. The church is not active. Once again, I'll be redundant. The government officials are not doing anything. It's a repetitive thing. So now we're in survival mode.
It's true.
So that guy's just inserting himself in the middle, trying to advocate, mediate. He's pretty.
Yeah, but sometimes you need disruption. Otherwise it's just conformity, and you add one issue on top of the last issue, and if you don't take the time to dig, people forget about it. So you have to have some degree of disruption to bring awareness for the purpose of trying to find a solution.
Or, in the vernacular, you got to wade through the shit to find the peanuts.
That's what I just said. Give me my translator, Charlie.
Let me put that in regular. Then, do you guys remember Dalton, Illinois? How do I describe it for people that might not know? It's a sassy little mayor of a village in Illinois, Dalton, right? And she's paying herself like $350,000 a year. Got police bodyguards. What else, Mark? Are they flying around the country?
Yeah, she's done that. She any business owner that hadn't donate to her, she sent the police there to kind of what people they claim is a shakedown to either get donations money. She threw a festival for her birthday using. The list goes on and on. So much so that the Daily Mail in England picked up on it, named her the worst mayor in America, and they couldn't get rid of her. They would even pass. City Council would pass. Rules or amendments or whatever, and she would just veto anything against her. She would just flat veto it. She's awful. And he had been on her case for a good 9 months or so. Jedidiah, yeah.
So Jedidiah is the one that brought it to the attention of the world media.
Exactly.
And he's the one that kept his technique is, like in these cases with corrupt politicians, is needle them.
Yeah.
And needle them and bullhorn them.
He loves a bullhorn.
Does that sound familiar?
Who?
The needling?
Oh, I don't need the bullhorn, man.
No, I didn't say bullhorn. I
I've
said
got
the needling.
this right here. This microphone is the sword of truth.
But see, people also trivialize. You talked about the majority of his followers are on YouTube. That's a whole new platform, demographic, environment, and audience that people overlook, but it's very influential.
Ain't nobody overlooking it now. It's not even the future.
It's the largest media corporation in the world.
You're absolutely right.
YouTube and Google.
Yeah, well, it'd be Google.
Well, they own it.
So. Thanks for that, Mark. That was unbeknownst to me.
They have the most viewers in the world.
Okay, so let's watch, or if you're listening, you'll get the idea. Here's a Jedidiah pushing this thing in Dalton, Illinois to a head, and hijinks ensue.
We would better take a vote, and we're gonna exchange your black for Stephanie to be the new member of Army. So all those in favor say all those against it, say nay. All those in favor say aye. Aye. You go.
He just elected the mayor.
We need him here.
Uh-oh. Mayor's brothers don't like it.
And here comes the mayor.
Now, which one is the mayor?
Who cares? Look at this fight.
I can't see what's going on.
The whole fucking thing.
Looks like a Spirit Airlines.
Tiffany is in there.
So he is suing Tiffany Haynier, the mayor, her boyfriend, who started the fight. Hopefully he gets something out of it.
So that's a pretty good piece of work, right?
Wow.
And then, leave your suggestions in the comment boxes. So come to Flint, come to Flint, come to Flint.
And then Detroit.
Right?
One city at a time.
Yeah, give me a call first. So you're coming to Flint, I love you, Flint. Flint's our family, and anything I can do to help, because in Flint, it's shamelessly corrupt. I made just a list of stuff here. $1 billion water crisis money. Poof. $94 million in ARPA, which is the COVID money, vanished. $259 million for the mega airport that's supposed to project thin air. $150 million in COVID cash for the school district that has less than 3,000 pupils.
What?
Vaporized. There's the pipe contracts, the garbage contracts. Remember the 2 children that died in the house fire? Okay, there's that. The children's family won that case, but somehow Flint wants to appeal because the mayor says that I have immunity. The mayor is a hopeless dope. Sheldon Neely, hopeless dope. That guy. Okay, wait a minute. The fire chief is suing him. That one went to federal circuit court because he got fired because he wouldn't change his findings in the death of the 2 children. So he claims he got fired for that.
What kind of person would even ask somebody to do that? That's what you got to think about. This is a mayor of a city, and you're asking the person in charge of an investigation to change it so that it doesn't have a negative reflection on you or what you did or didn't do. What kind of person does that?
Yes,
a fearful one.
Yeah. Well, then there's. I went up there, figure out what's going on, and the late great Eric Mays, America's councilman, took me to see the mayor using the public vehicle for private use, and you got a little clip of that.
Yeah, I just pulled in. I seen that he was here, so I'm always highly suspicious of certain politicians telling the truth and having their staff tell the truth and folks lying and telling half-truth. I know this one. He will trick you, lie to the community.
So the mayor's tax-funded car is here.
Look at the plate.
The mayor's not here, but his car is.
Poor Eric Mays. They bumped him off.
They killed him.
They did. I mean, and people loved him. He spoke up again, disruptor. He was blowing up on TikTok, which is bringing more attention,
a billion social media views.
to the issues that were taking place in Flint and his position on those. And then all of a sudden, boom.
Eric Mays was the only city council person there when Flint cracked that brought us in, and I'm like, I need to get a hold of the health department. How many? I need to see the death certificates for the Legionnaire's disease, right? And I'm sitting there with Eric, and we're just filming it, how he can't get through to anybody, right? I mean, he was beautiful, and they hounded him, removed him, hounded him, arrested him, and his heart finally blew up. That's what happened there. Now, I got it through an intermediary. Remember, after that car showed up on the No Bullshit News Hour, the garage is off limit to the public. And then I got it through an intermediary that the Mayor Neely, who was on the city council and was advocating to drink the Flint River water and was giving tours, and all of a sudden now he didn't. That guy, I hear, threatened to beat my ass next time he see me. He ain't gonna beat no ass. That bald ass out of shape. Man, get the fuck out of here.
Can we sell tickets?
For charity.
Yeah, for Flint.
To bail out Jedidiah.
I love the idea, though, he's going to kick your ass because you exposed something he did. It just drives me up a wall.
Man, everything, it's
That's
gangland
the
up
MO,
there.
though.
So now, he lost control of the city council because the good people of Flint just filled the vacant seat of a council member that's hostile to him. So now it's going to be 5-4, and they're going to investigate this fucking dude. And Jedidiah is up there making waves, making headlines, because he's just needling them. And guess where I'm going next week?
Flint.
Mm.
How long can they hold him for disturbing the public? I mean, isn't that just kind of write you a ticket and let you go?
Yeah, it's a great one. Let's call this guy.
Okay.
Because this guy
So I'm thinking, like, what do you do? I mean, you disturbed the peace. Was he a threat? Why is he locked up in solitary confinement?
Because they want him locked up.
I know,
Right.
but I'm saying, like, how long legally can they detain him for something like
They'll
that?
find another reason.
Okay, let me call. Our high technology speakerphone. Hey, Jordan.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Charlie. I do apologize, man. There's so much going on right now. Getting calls in, but I'm glad to announce that Jed is doing well. Just had an opportunity to speak with him personally, so he's doing well.
You want to explain to the viewers and the listeners like what happened to him?
Sure. So what happened is on Monday, because of all of the things that are going on in Flint, Michigan is or just have approached 11 years of their water crisis. This has been a fight that Jed has been on since the beginning, with taking 18-wheelers down to Flint, Michigan to make sure that they had clean bottled water. And so Flint has been a place that has been close to Jedidiah's heart in all of that. With the council that is in office right now, there's been a lot of corruption that has been going on with them receiving ARPA money that was intended for the residents. They have that money that have been going to their personal 501c3 companies. And so for that reason, Jedidiah has come to Flint to expose corruption and what the city council and what the mayor is doing. On Monday, Jed got a group of people and protested and walked from City Hall to the residence of the mayor in protest of all of the things that were going on. The killing of the youth in Flint, Michigan, as well as, the water crisis and the mismanagement of money. As a result of that, there was a call that was made. The mayor has a group of special unit officers. They call them the mayor's goons. These officers are dispatched under the order of the mayor and not the chief of police. And so this unit was the actual unit that picked Jedidiah up on last night.
Okay, let me stop you there.
Sure.
So it was Monday, in daylight hours, that Jedidiah leads a peaceful march and protest to the mayor's house, and I'm not even sure the mayor lives there, just to be quite honest with you. And
that is correct.
And they're peaceably protesting. Jedidiah's got a bullhorn, etc., right?
That is correct.
Okay. Did the police show up on Monday to disperse the crowd?
There was a police escort from City Hall to the mayor's house, and once the protests reached the mayor's house, it was discovered that there was two plainclothes officers there as well. And so there, at no point was there ever a threat to the mayor or any other residents on that block.
So they didn't arrest him. They didn't arrest him at the protest. There was, no grounds there to be arrested. Is that what, pretty much it?
That is correct. That is correct.
So then now we're into Tuesday night, and Jedidiah is driving around in the passenger seat of a rental car?
So the rental car, it was not a rental car.
Okay.
In fact, the vehicle that he was in does belong to Jedidiah and Investigate and Advocate. It is a company car that we have. And he was in the passenger seat. Unbeknownst to us, they said that they were going to tow the car, even though there were several licensed people on scene, including one of the council people of Flint, Michigan, who agreed that she would drive the car off. But for the inconvenience of Jedidiah, they decided that they would impound the car.
Well, you're burying the lead here, Jordan, which is you guys are driving around, no traffic violation, no nothing. So the secret police were hunting for him? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, Charlie, that's exactly what I'm saying.
The fuck? Now they got him in the county jail and he's awaiting arraignment. Yeah?
On what charges?
What's the charge? A misdemeanor disturbing the peace?
The charge is, to the last of my knowledge, the mayor was trying to get the misdemeanor boosted up to a felony disorderly charge, which is absolutely unheard of, does not even exist. But the mayor at this point is to my belief, he's crashing out at this point. Last night he lost his power in the city and probably going to be on the ropes to be investigated because the fifth vote, he will no longer have control over it.
Ooh, what a numbnuts. Hey,
Yeah.
how about Jordan? Because Flint's near and dear to my heart. I've done a lot of work. I brought my own 18-wheeler, but it was a milk truck. You know, like one of those big gas tankers full of nice fresh water. And and I had the police chasing me around. It was ridiculous. I was trying to bring showers.
That.
Yeah, remember that?
Mm-hmm, I do.
So, how about Jordan? How about like I make my way to Flint and meet up with you guys?
I would absolutely love that. I'm pretty sure that Jed absolutely would love that. He is actually looking forward. We were actually on to do an interview with you today, but I know that is something that we would love.
Well, that's democracy Flint style. Now, I'll call you later. I know you got a lot to do. You got to get Jed out of the hooskow there. But just to bookend the show, this is Eric Mays' #1 hit.
Mm-hmm.
America's Councilman.
Every hour on the hour, when we listen and gain our knowledge and power, we turn to the no bullshit hour.
Yeah. All right, man. Good luck.
The great legendary Eric Mays. Thank you so much.
All right, Jordan.
Thank you so
I'll
much.
call you later.
All right, have a good one.
All right, that's the program. We going to Flint. Ken, get your canteen filled. We're going to Flint. We'll see you next week.